The
Remember
wind
me?
rolled across the open plains like a whisper from the past as Cole Mercer stepped down from his horse. Dust clung to his boots, his coat, his memories. The ranch looked the same, weathered wood and wide sky, but something in the air felt different, heavy, waiting. Then he heard her voice behind him. "Remember me, cowboy?" He turned slowly. A woman stood there still as the land itself, dark braided hair, eyes sharp and deep, strength in her posture, fire in her silence. His breath caught before his mind could speak. "I'm the Apache girl you saved years ago," she said, "and I've returned. If you love emotional Western stories filled with love, fate, and unforgettable moments, subscribe now to Legend of West, because this story is only getting deeper." Cole swallowed hard. He remembered that night, the burning camp, the gunfire, a terrified young girl hiding behind rocks, clutching hope with shaking hands. He had pulled her onto his horse and ridden through hell to get her out alive. He never thought he'd see her again. "I thought you were gone," he said quietly. She stepped closer. Not gone, just growing stronger. Her name was Ayanna. She told him how she had survived, how she had learned, how she had carried his face in her memory through every hard year. He noticed the way she looked at him, not like a stranger, not like a debt, but like something unfinished. "I didn't come back for thanks," she said. "I came back because my heart never left." The words struck him harder than any bullet ever had. Cole had lived a lonely life since that night. No wife, no children, just land and silence. He had buried his need for love under work and dust. "You saved my life," she continued, her voice steady, but her eyes betraying emotion. "And when a man saves an Apache girl's life, it binds fate." The sun dipped lower, painting the sky in gold and blood-red hues. Cole felt something break open inside him, something he had locked away long ago. "I don't know what to say," he admitted. "Then don't speak," she replied softly. "Just don't turn away." He didn't. He couldn't. As the wind carried their silence across the plains, Cole realized this was no accident. The past had returned, not to haunt him, but to change his future forever. Cole offered her water, and she accepted, their fingers brushing for just a second. That touch carried more weight than words. She followed him to the porch, sitting where the evening light softened her strong features. "I searched for you," she said, "for years." Cole leaned against the railing. "You could have lived anywhere. Why come back here?" "Because this is where my life was given back to me." She spoke of loss, of family taken by violence, of learning to survive in a world that showed little mercy. Cole listened, jaw tight, fists clenched, feeling every word like a wound reopening. "I wanted to forget," he said. "That night changed me." "Me too," she replied, "but it didn't break me." There was pride in her voice and something else, hope. As darkness crept in, lantern light flickered between them. The space felt smaller, charged. Cole noticed how she watched him, not with weakness, but with certainty. "I didn't come back to beg," she said. "I came to stand beside you." His heart pounded. He had faced gunmen without fear, but this moment terrified him. Love always did. "You don't even know the man I've become," he said. "I know the man who risked his life for a stranger," she answered. "That man doesn't disappear." He exhaled slowly. For the first time in years, the loneliness loosened its grip. The next morning, they rode together across the range. The land stretched endlessly, quiet and honest. Ayanna rode with confidence, her presence natural, like she belonged there. "You live alone," she observed. "I got used to it." "Did you want to?" she asked. That question lingered long after the horses slowed. Cole realized how much of his life had been shaped by survival instead of choice. They stopped near a ridge overlooking the valley. Ayana dismounted and faced him. "In my people's way," she said, "love is not asked for, it is recognized." She placed her hand over his heart. "Mine has known you for years." Emotion rose fast and fierce. Cole covered her hand with his own. "I'm scared," he admitted. "So am I," she said, "but fear doesn't mean wrong." The wind carried their silence, heavy with truth. That night, trouble came riding in the form of old enemies and unfinished debts. Cole stood firm, rifle in hand, protecting what mattered. Ayana stood beside him, unafraid. When the danger passed, adrenaline gave way to honesty. "You could have left," he said. "So could you," she replied, "but you didn't." Under the stars, he saw her not as the girl he saved, but as the woman who chose him. "I don't want to lose you," he said. "Then don't," she answered simply. He pulled her close, the world narrowing to heartbeat and breath. No promises spoken, but all understood. The sunrise spread slowly across the plains, painting the land in soft gold. Cole stood near the corral, watching the horses stir, his thoughts heavier than the saddle on the fence. He had spent years believing solitude was his fate, that some men were meant to stand alone. But now, with Ayana's presence behind him, that belief no longer held. She stepped beside him without a sound. "You didn't sleep," she said gently. "No," he admitted. "I was thinking." She didn't press him. She never had. That was one of the things that pulled him closer to her. She gave space without distance, strength without hardness. "I've lived my life by reacting," he said finally. "Fires, fights, losses. I never planned for something good to stay." Ayana turned to him. "In my world, we don't fear what stays. We honor it." Her words settled deep. Cole faced her fully now, seeing not the frightened girl from years ago, but the woman forged by survival and choice. He reached for her hands, steady despite the storm inside him. "I don't know how to be the man you deserve," he said honestly, "but I know I don't want to walk this land without you." Emotion flickered across her face, pride and tenderness intertwined. "You already are that man," she replied. "You just never believed it." The wind moved through the grass like a quiet blessing. Cole took a breath, one that felt like a beginning instead of an ending. "I don't have riches," he said. "Just land, hard work, and a name that's been worn thin by time." Ayana smiled softly. "I didn't come back for riches. I came back for the man who gave me life when he didn't have to." He pulled her closer, resting his forehead against hers. Years of silence broke open, replaced by something warmer, steadier. "We'll face judgment," he said. "People won't understand." "They don't have to," she answered. "This is ours." As the sun climbed higher, Cole realized the land no longer felt empty. It felt shared. The past had not returned to claim him, but to offer him a future he never believed he deserved. When he kissed her, it wasn't rushed or desperate. It was a promise made without words. Two souls meeting not in fire or fear, but in peace earned through struggle. Together, they turned toward the ranch house, toward work, toward days yet unwritten, toward a life built not on what was lost, but on what was chosen. And for the first time, the plains felt like home. The ranch had never seen a gathering like this before. The land that once echoed only with wind and hoofbeats now carried soft voices and quiet laughter. Word had traveled faster than Cole expected. Neighbors came, not out of curiosity alone, but respect. They had seen him stand alone for years. Seeing him stand beside someone felt right. Ayana moved through the morning light with calm grace. Her dress was simple, stitched by her own hands, blending Apache tradition with the practicality of frontier life. Nothing about her looked borrowed. She belonged to herself and now to the future she was choosing. Cole waited near the old oak by the fence line. No preacher, no grand ceremony, just witnesses, earth and truth. His hands were steady, but his heart carried the weight of something sacred. When Ayana stood before him, the world quieted. "You once saved my life," she said softly, her voice carrying across the open land. "Today I choose to walk beside yours." Cole swallowed, emotion tightening his throat. "I didn't save you so you could owe me," he replied, "but I thank whatever brought you back to me." They spoke no vows written by others. Their promises came from lived truth. "I promise you honesty," Cole said, "even when it's hard." "I promise you strength," Ayana answered, "even when the world doubts us." He took her hands, weathered and warm, and felt something settle deep within him. Not possession. Partnership. The wind moved through the grass as if listening. Horses shifted, faces softened. No one questioned what they saw. Love that survived time and distance didn't need explanation. When he kissed her, it wasn't for the crowd. It was for the years lost, the nights alone, the courage it took to choose happiness. Afterward, life didn't slow. Work waited. Fences needed mending. Meals needed cooking. But now, everything felt shared. That evening, as the sun dipped low, Cole and Ayana sat on the porch, watching the land breathe under fading light. "Do you regret coming back?" he asked. She leaned into him. "I regret that I didn't come sooner." He smiled, a real one, worn and earned. "Then we'll make up for lost time." The plains stretched endless before them. Not as a reminder of loneliness, but as a promise. Two lives once shaped by survival, now guided by choice. The past had done its work. The future belonged to them.